Hey folks, Kirk Almighty here. After making my last video on tactics and strategy, it was suggested to me over there on the Steam discussion board that I make some smaller videos and just focus in on certain areas of the game. And I actually like that suggestion because I was trying to cram a lot of information in that video and it ended up being kind of a long video because of that. So in this video, I'm only going to focus on a couple things here. And what I'm going to focus on is terrain, how it affects the combat statistics, and also entrenchment and what it does and how it affects the combat numbers. Now, if you haven't discovered this little feature over here yet, see this question mark? Any terrain you go on here, whether it's plains or forests, suburban, hills, whatever, you click on this question mark and it's going to bring up this little information panel, and it's full of lots of little goodies right here. It's going to tell you the entrenchment values for that. It's also going to tell you combat modifiers, and this is what we're going to look at right now, is combat modifiers. So in this forest hex, the combat modifier right here is 0.5 if you're attacking with let's just look at this light tank. 0.5 means it's receiving a 50% penalty on its attack. It's only attacking at half of its normal strength. Whereas this SMG is actually attacking at 1.25, which is a 25% increase in its attack value. So it's actually getting a bonus for attacking into this forest. Whereas pretty much any other unit in the game is receiving a 50% reduction. And well, for cavalry, they're receiving a 70. Oh no, okay, it's only receiving a 25% reduction, not more. It's actually less. Now you can see that pretty much everything is not really receiving a modifier on defense. It's just kind of staying at a normal 100. That's what the 1 is. It's just defending it at 100%, whatever its normal value would be. The only thing here that's actually getting a bonus on that is, once again, the SMG is getting a 25% bonus defending as well. So you're probably wondering what number exactly is this modifying? And the number it's modifying, I'm going to show you right here. Let's pull up this SMG. And I think we'll pull up something else too. We'll pull up an armored car, I think. Okay. These numbers right here, these attack numbers, are exactly what's being modified right there by the combat modifier for that terrain. So let's say this armored car is now attacking this submachine gun. This armored car normally would be attacking at 1300 on just, say, open terrain. But since it's attacking a forest now, it's reduced by 50%. So now this attack number is no longer 1300, it's now 650. Now normally how this would work is it would roll a number between 1 and 1300, and then you look at the hit points of the units attacking, you roll, which in this case it defends at 100 hit points. That SMG will roll a number between 1 and 100. If this number ends up higher than that number, it's scored a hit. Then you got to look at these numbers to determine if that hit's actually going to do anything. So this reduces the chance of it scoring a higher number by 50%. There's more modifiers here. Now the other modifier, you just see the SMG got a defense modifier, and it's actually going to modify this number right here. This is the number that the SMG, if it gets a counterattack, it's going to roll a number here versus the attack hit points of that armor car to see if maybe it might kill it in a counterattack. And that number is going to increase by 25%. Pretty minimal there. I mean, it's still probably not going to, even if it got a counterattack, I doubt it's going to kill that armored car. Now, a really good modifier that helps the infantry out a lot is entrenchment. So let's bring this back up again. Let's look at suburban this time. Let's look at the entrenchment stats. Now, in infantry, basically only 3 units I'm aware of can actually entrench, and that's infantry, soft mobile, and artillery. Now, just by walking into this suburban location, this infantry is automatically going to entrench to 50. If you let it sit there long enough, it's going to increase every turn and eventually max out at 150. I think on cities it's actually 200. It gets even higher. what does this number do? What this number does is actually increases the hit points by 1% for every 1 point of entrenchment. So if it's entrenched to 100, it's going to increase the hit points by 100%. How's that going to affect the combat? Well, let's go back and look at this again. And we'll pull up that armored car again, right here. Look at the combat stats. Okay, so you got this armored car it's rolling in here. Now it's, instead of rolling a 1300, and let's just assume that the armored car chooses this SMG as its target. Okay, so instead of rolling a number between 1 and 1300, it's now rolling a number between 1 and 650 because it's receiving a minus 50% modifier, a penalty for attacking this suburban area. Now the infantry here, let's say this infantry here is entrenched at 100. So now this number is increased by 100%. So its defending hit points isn't 100 anymore, it's now 200. It's actually gone up. So now we're rolling a number between 1 and 650 on the attacker side, 101 and 200 on the defender side. Its chances of surviving that attack and not getting a hit are greatly improved. Okay, it's still pretty good chance that armor car is going to get a hit, but instead of it being, I don't know, maybe a 90% chance of getting a hit, now it's only a 60% chance of getting a hit or something. It's been significantly reduced, maybe even less than that. Just because it gets a hit doesn't mean it's going to get a kill either. These numbers here have to factor in. It gets a hit, it still has to see if he's going to get a kill or retreat or just nothing at all. But now you can see exactly how entrenchment and terrain modifies these attack numbers, modifies the hit points, and you can have some cumulative factors in here too, like you see right here. If you're over here in this X and you're attacking this city, you got to go across a river here. So there's going to be a modifier, I think, for an armored car. It's going to receive minus 50% on its attack just for rolling across that river. So it goes from 1300 down to 650 just for walking across that river. Now that 650 is going to get modified another minus 50% for attacking the suburban. So now its attack value, instead of being 650, is going to be 325 versus the 200 that SMG is going to have there for being entrenched. So now its chances of scoring hit are even more reduced. So anyway, hopefully that information that I've just given you gives you a better idea of how terrain and entrenchment affects the combat ability of the units, and you can make better decisions on how to use the terrain to your benefit, particularly when defending. Anyway, thanks for watching this video.